Hello everyone, this is Unreal Noob and welcome to Unreal Engine for Beginners tutorial. In the last lesson we made the enemy obstacle. So the enemy spawns and plays an animation when he spawns, and once you bump into it, it plays an animation and you die. Yeah, we also made sure that the coins and all the enemies don't stay for long if you do not pick them up. So if I just leave these enemies and some of the coins, I take some coins, I leave some other. Yeah, now if I just go ahead and die and just F8 out of it, you will see that the coins and the enemies despawn as well. So we don't have to worry about efficiency anymore. Everything gets deleted after some time, see, so which is good for us. And in this lesson we will be making the pause menu, and we'll look into some animations that we can do in our player widget as well. So let us get started. So at the very beginning, we do not have any assets, so what you can do is open up your Epic Games launcher, and in library, not in library, in marketplace, what you have to find is the action RPG. RPG, yeah, free. Yeah, you just have to get it. I already have it, so I cannot do that, but you have to just own it and add to cart and it will be yours. It's free of cost, obviously, provided by Unreal Engine itself. So once it's done, it would show up in your vault. So create a project. I'll browse a location. So you have to just browse the location and press on create. I already have one created, so I'll just open that one up. And once this open up, it will look something like this. So in the what we need is the UI textures over here that we have, and let's say some of the items pickups. Yeah, we can use these as well. Okay, we can use the items and the UI. So what I'll do is I'll first migrate the UI, right click on it, migrate, press OK, and check your folder. Mine is Infinite Runner v12. So in the content folder I will just select folder and it will be migrated over there. I'll do the items, not the items. Yeah, I'll just get these assets, potion pickups assets, right? Yeah, I'll just migrate this folder as well to my content folder of my Infinite Runner. So once it's successful, you can close this one up and open back your Infinite Runner one, and from there in the UI you have this textures that you just saw in the action RPG. And let's see, yeah, I have the items as well for the pickups over there. So let's go back to our runner folder, and in the widget we can open up our UI player HUD, and what we will add is a button. You can add the button to the canvas panel and rename it settings, and under appearances, make sure your button is clicked. Under appearances, style, open up normal, and over here just type in settings and it should pop up, and it might look like this. What you have to do is change the draw as to image, and there you go. You can make it a bit smaller like that. Yeah, so that would be enough. So we can click on the button, scroll down, and on clicked under events this one will open up. So what do we want to do? On clicked, we want to make sure another widget opens. So for that we need to create another widget. User interface widget blueprint, we'll name it UI underscore game paused. Open that one up, and over here we'll add two buttons. You can press Ctrl W to copy it over here again. So I'll name one as continue, sorry, continue, and I'll name the other one quit. And what we can do is wrap with vertical box and put that in vertical box as well. And size, we can change it in the X as 500 and 500, not over here, yeah. And make sure it's anchored at the middle, 0 0 0.5 0.5, yeah. So it would be at the center, and these are way up close. So what we can do is we click on the continue, and then in padding, from the top we add 25, and from the bottom we add 25, and same with the quit, at the top we add 25. So there we have it. Actually what we can do is, let's not have it so big. Let's keep it 200. Yeah, there we go. And what we would want is to put two texts under the buttons. Make sure these are child of the buttons, and I'll call it continue, and I'll call this one quit. Make sure the font, you can change it to Cinzel. It comes with the Action RPG pack, and you can change the tint to some color you prefer. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. There we go, and we can change the color of our text to black. And what we could do as well is wrap with, and yeah, not wrap with, okay. So just put in a background blur on the canvas panel, and we can anchor it to all sides, and 0 and 0, and blur strength, let's say 10. This order would be 1, no, 0. The order of this vertical box would be 1, so it is above the blur. So what we can do is get back to our player HUD, and over here we can do set game paused to true, and after that create widget, get owning player, and for the class game paused, add to viewport, and what you can do is remove from parent, that would be the self one, and in the game paused, on the continue, make sure you have the continue button selected and scroll down to get on the on clicked under events, and we do the same things, same thing almost. Create widget, get owning player, and you get the player HUD, add it to the viewport, and then remove from parent, and you can click on the quit one, and on clicked you can execute console command and type in exit, and this one would be get player controller, and let's see how that goes. Yeah, play, press on it, it pops up, press continue. Right, in the game paused, you also have to, before you remove it from the viewport, you also have to set game pause to false. So you press it, the game pauses, and this menu pops up. You press continue and the game starts again, and you can play, as you can see. So without any without any issues, you can see that you can play everything, pause the game, and then again start playing again. We just don't want the game pause to be as simple as this. We can do something better. We can add animation to UIs. So how to do that? So come to your game pause, and over here at the below you will see animations. If you do not see this, you can come under widget and press on animations, and this window will pop up, and add on the plus animation, and a new animation track will be made. I will call it pause. Click on it and then track. First I will track the vertical box, no, first I will track the blur, and then I will track the vertical box. Make sure that you click on this and then press the track, and they will pop up over here. If you don't have them clicked, they won't pop up here, see? So make sure you click them. Click on the animation first, animation track, then on the box that you want to track, and that one will pop up over here. So the first thing would be the background blur, and what we want to track would be the blur strength. So at time we want to go till 1.5. yeah, we don't want to go more than that. So at 0 we want it, the background strength, to be 0, and at 1.5 we would want the strength to be 10. So as you can see, it goes from 0 to like this. And for the vertical box, we want to track the transform. We just want the translation only. We want the translation only, but you can actually tag all of them. So what I would want is like move, click on this, it should be 0 0 by default. So if you hover over it, there will be two-way arrow. So just left click on it and just move it to the right, and it will increase slowly. So yeah, you want it to be outside the screen like this, and that's where you want it to be, at 0 0. And at 1.5 you want it to return at 0 0, like that, and then transform it as well. So there we have it. So basically at 0 0 it's like this, and then it's like this. So also it's not enough to do just this animation, it won't play. So what we have to do is like on event construct, we don't have begin play over here on UI. We have event constructs. So from the event construct, what you want to do is like get this animation over here. It's already here, so you can get the pause and then play animation, plug it in. Start time is 00 and forward, and playback speed is 1. So let's see, I pause it and see, looks really good. Yeah, maybe uh, play with the playback speed to 2.0 and let's see how that goes. Yeah, it looks good. And in quit you can just quit it. So the console command works as well, so that's good, that's really good. So we have it made, but what we would also want is to make another animation, and we'll call it unpause, or let's just call it continue. No, okay, let's just call it unpause then. And in this one we want to track the vertical box again and the background blur. For the blur we would want to track the blur strength, and for the vertical box we would want to track the transform. So let's check the background blur strength. At the beginning it should be at 10, and make sure to make it to 1.5. Yeah, at first, at starting it would be at 10, and the transform over here would be at 0. So we already know these. So at 1.5 we want the blur strength to be 0, and we want the vertical box translation to be out of the box again. So like plug in the transform as well. So as you can see, like from here it moves like that, which is great. Go to the graph again. Now over here if we press continue, yeah, before the widget is created we want to do the same thing we did over here. We want to play the animation. Let's see how that works. Pause, continue. It does not work. Okay. Probably we need a delay. So for the delay, let's see. Of 1 second. Works pretty much fine. 1 second. But if I want to do it at playback speed of 4 again, same as the one before, I have to wait now. See? And the game even froze. Okay, we don't want that. So we want a better way to find this duration. So what we can do is from the unpause we can get the end time and the start time, and the end minus the start will, and then we can get our the delay. It won't be precise because let's say how many numbers are between 0 to 10. If you do 10, if we consider the numbers 0 and 10 and we subtract 10 minus 0, it is 10, right? But how many numbers are in between, sorry, not in between, how many numbers are there in total? 10 minus 0, 10, but it's not actually 10, it's 11 numbers because you start the count from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3 to 10, it's 11 numbers. So it's not precise, but it's okay. Like it's just a 1 second delay, so doesn't really bother us much. Like, yeah. Did we plug it in? Okay, so we need to divide it by the playback speed, because our playback speed was 2.0, and it works now, as you can see, perfectly fine. So when we subtract the get end time by the start end time, we do it at playback speed of 1, so dividing it makes no difference by 1. But when we are doing it at a rate above 1, like right now we are doing it at 2, so have to divide it by 2 as well. Now when I change it to 4, the game will crash again, as we can see, and it did. So this happens because the playback speed can be lesser than the divider, but the divider can never be less than the playback speed. But try to make the playback speed and the divider to be the same as right now. The playback speed can be less than the divider, but not more than the divider. Always remember that. Yeah, we also want to add another button over here in the vertical box, I would say. Let's add, let's just copy this continue button. We'll name it main menu, and this one will be main menu as well. It works fine. And for the main menu, from here create a new level, so you can create the default one, so you don't have to worry about the light and stuff. But you know what, I'll just teach you, never mind, I'll just teach you about these basic things, since it's a beginner's tutorial as it is. So the first thing, if it's a black screen, what you would require is the sky sphere. No, so the first thing would be the directional light, but yeah, if you put it, you cannot see anything at all. So what you would require is your skylight, and after that you will require your atmospheric fog, and you will require your sky sphere. Where is the sky sphere? BP sky sphere. Yeah, there we go. So once all of these is done, click on the BP sky sphere, and you have to put in your directional light, so that now you can see your clouds and the sun again. And you can check the sun brightness, like you can increase it, you can decrease. Then cloud speed is set to 1, opacity is 0.7, you can make it to 1, so you have more clouds, and 2 is much more clouds, and 10 is like, wow, really. So cloud speed you can change it to 5, and you can see the clouds moving way faster. I'll place them back to 1, and so this is the basic setup that you would require to do this level. So what we would want to do at the very first would be, let us drag a cube and see how that looks for the floor. If this doesn't work, I would probably use the BP floor tile that we have used. Let's change the scale from 4 to 10 and 10. Have like 2 of these. Let's change the location for all of these to 0, 0, 0, so it's better for me. There we go. Yeah, I'll just make it bigger, like that, like that, like that. I'll place a cine camera over here, and make sure it looks at like that over there, like that. Looks good enough, I would say. So when the game didn't I save this one? Okay, I'll call it menu map. Under runner folders, it's under maps, I hope. Yeah, it is, thank god. So in the blueprints over here, I'll open up the level blueprint, and at the begin play, also make sure that you have this one cine camera selected, and go to your menu map blueprint, create a reference to cine camera actor. We want to get player controller. We want to set view target with blend, and at the very first we want to set this one as our camera. So when you start the game, we look over here, and we also want to have a widget that will be our UI underscore menu. We open this one up. We just want to have only one button over here. It's an infinite runner game, you won't have anything other than the like start game, and let's say you can have three buttons max. The first one would be start, the next one would be credit for your name, and the third one would be quit the game, and another one for, let's say, options. So there's the four of these, and you want to wrap them up again with the vertical box. Make sure they are all under vertical box, and the size, yeah, make sure it's center. Position should be 0 0, size should be 500 by 500. Make sure it's 0.5 by 0.5, yeah. And the paddings, make sure for the top one you don't need, for the bottom it's 10. For options, top should be 10, bottom should be 10. For the credit, top should be 10 again, bottom should be 10 again. For the quit, top should be 10. That is it. And so for the text, make sure all of these have text box. How to think of it, we don't need the box that big. 300, 250 is good enough. The first would be start, the second is options, third would be credit, and the last one would be quit. So credits, yeah. In the start one, on clicked, you want to do a open level. For now, let's do the open level. We can do the animation later on, or you can do it on your own, because I already taught you how to do one. So what we will be opening is our other map. Make sure that the names are perfect, infinite map like that, and this one should work like also, yeah. Open up the menu map, and after this one what you should do is like create widget and the get player controller, get the class main menu, add to viewport, and if you start the game starts like this, which is great. The option and the credits will come later on. I'll work on that a bit later. Let's do the on click for the quit one and execute console command, and we'll just type in exit. So it's done. Start will start the game, and if I press quit it will just quit the game. So that is great. Make sure this one is get player controller. Save. So let's do a bit of change on the infinite runner map as well. So our player starts from over here, so let's do something similar to the main menu map. 0 0 0. There should be no collisions to it, so we don't actually have to worry about it. Make sure it's, and also just check for the collision just in case. Yeah, no collision presets default, so it's fine. And static mesh, no overlap events. Okay, that's really good. What you can do is like overlap all. Yeah, that's good enough for us. So what we can do is now open up our level blueprint, and at event begin play we place in a cine camera actor in this world. That is good enough, I would hope. Actually, let's go to our UI, not UI, sorry, our infinite map, and over here create a reference of that and get the player controller, and set view blend would be that one, and after this we want a delay of 0.2 seconds. Let's do our player. Actually, we don't need our player controller, we just need our character ref. Get player character. Let's just do our player controller ref as well. We can promote this one to variable, call it, it's already called character ref, and we'll just promote this one to a variable and PC ref. Okay, once that's done, yeah, before that you'd want to disable input for the player controller as well as the get player pawn, and then you would want to set the view blend to the player controller. The target would be player character, Okay, player controller, and blend time, let's say 3, and lock outgoing is in, and then we would want to enable our input. Do this one, do this one, get the player pawn and the target. Oh right, sorry, this one will be our target and this one will be our player character reference. Sorry about that. And 3 seconds is in. No, linear is out. How does that look? Yeah, does not look good. So linear is the perfect thing we have at this moment. So it looks something like this. Okay, so what we can do is just after this we can have a delay of, let's say, 1 second. Then we can play. Nice, that is actually really good. So in the project settings, let's go maps and modes. We'd want our first map to be our menu map, and this one would be our menu map as well. So save and play. Sorry, open up our menu map. Right, where's the play start? Just make sure your player character is at the very end of the camera so you don't see him. So yeah, like this, play start, and it's like this. Actually you can blend the maps really well so that both of these look the same almost. This is the menu map, right? You can have the sun and have it like this. Build your lighting. Yeah, and also like what we could do is have the actors instead of these. Let's just have this in the yeah, let's have this. So when you see this, yeah, now flow. If it is valid, only do that. Yeah, there you go. Yep, you press escape, there's nothing wrong with this one. So you can just make sure that both the map in both the maps it is more or less yeah You know what, you can delete this one. It will break the reference. Open level blueprint, we have only one reference, right? Don't worry about this. Yeah, you can delete that one. Put in a new cine camera actor, rotate it to 180 degrees, take it in front like this, rotate it, and plug it in over here. And probably that is that. Let's open up the main menu, start. Yeah, you can work with it, I'm pretty much sure, to make it look much more better. But yeah, there we go. You can see now we have it animating a bit, so that before the start of the game it animates a bit, like Temple Run. If you have better animations, you can work around in a much better way. So this would be enough for today's video, and before I leave this one out, I will explain it to you once. So the set view target with blend, what it does is it gets the camera, it uh, gets the camera, and it sets the target. It sets the target, let's say like at the very beginning the target is this actor, and we have our blend time set to 0, so it will not blend at all, so it's just basically set view target. So what it means is like which target should the camera be in. So this is our cine camera actor, that's what our view is. And then once we move in, we disable and once after that's done, we disable our input, so that the player cannot uh, move from left to right, but you can actually from in here. So what I would do is yeah, so yeah, let's see about from here. Yeah, let's open up our BP player, and over here we have our swipe controls, right? Right and left. So we want to make a function is playing cinematic, and I'll set it to true. Sorry, not set it to true. And I'll just make a branch and just check if it is true. We don't want to do it, so it will just come out of the false. I don't like the false very much, so I'll just put in a not over here, and I'll just change it to true. And I'll do the same thing over here, only if it's not playing, that means if it is false, which is by default, only then you can move right to left. And then if you go into the infinite map, let's move our PC ref behind. Let's see if it actually works over here. If it does not, we have to find some other way, but let's see. Yeah, sorry, we did not set it. Oh, my bad, my bad. We want the player character, not the controller, to be behind, right? Okay, is playing not get set is playing cinematic. Let's say that's true over here, and once this blend is done, we can set is playing cinematic to false. So yeah, at the very first you cannot actually do that, I mean move. So let's just add another delay of 2 seconds. So let's see. Yeah, you cannot move. Yeah, and once it comes back to you, you can move again. So that is really good. You cannot move right now, which is really great. And once that is been played, you can move around properly. As you can see, you can pause at any time and the game will pause. You can pause the game at any time, which is great. And if you press the main menu, nothing that does not work if you press the main menu, which is great. And if you press the main menu, it does not work. So let me just fix that before I turn off. Let's go to widgets, game paused, and in the main menu, on clicked, we want to open label by name, and it is called menu map. So if you pause main menu, we go to main menu, we start the game, and we can start the game again. We also don't want to score points, and I think we will take those up in the next video. And we did not get to create the game over screen as of yet. It's already been long, so in the next video I'll make sure to make the game over screen. And thank you guys for watching this video, and if you learned something from it, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, because that really helps me a lot. Thank you guys, and see you in the next one.